4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, this last 1,900-point drop in the stock market scared everybody. They called it a crash. But here at Phil's Gang, we call it an opportunity. Why? Because I taught my students how to read a chart. And here's the problem in this industry. You go somewhere to learn how to drive a car, but you never go anywhere to learn how to invest in a stock. Well, you'll do that here at Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Middle-class economics works.
Works? Where? Show me where it works. You tell us the unemployment rate is 5.1%, and you only get to 5.1% by making sure people don't have a job. Think of August. August, the unemployment rate went down to 5.1% because 200,000 people couldn't find a job. If they found a job, our unemployment rate would be at 10%. Isn't this amazing? Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Aren't you sick of this stuff? Aren't you sick of these politicians? They keep lying to us. You know, Wall Street does too. And how many times have you said, boy, I hate Wall Street. I hate the stock market. But that's the best place in the world to make money. But you need a lesson. You need a lesson on how to invest. That's where I come in. Join my gang, philsgang.com. It's the best teaching format in the country when you want to learn how to invest in stocks. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
She doesn't know what she's doing. She shouldn't be there. She's an academic who has no clue. None of them do. They're bureaucrats and academics. She'll wake up one morning this week and she'll make a decision. You'll probably say no, but later on, she's going to say, oh my gosh, I said no. And then they'll change their minds in October and they'll do something later. We've had this huge artificial printing of money for 6 years now, and we're all going to pay the price.
That's right. We are paying the price. That's Jim Rogers talking about Aunt B. Remember the big thing this week, Thursday, Fed announcement on the rate hike. If she raises rates, she's got to be out of her mind. And what's amazing is this weekend, Aunt B sends out the troops to convince everybody we should raise rates because the economy is doing so well. But before I get to that, Hank Paulson, our former Treasury Secretary, a phony, who was responsible for the meltdown of the housing, who's responsible for you losing $12 trillion between your house equity and your stock equity. It was his fault. Much of it was his fault. Not his alone, but much of his fault. And he always came off as like he was going to do TARP. He was going to do all these things to help us Main Street. Well, here he was. Now we're going to see the real Treasury Secretary Hank Paulson, the greedy Hank Paulson. You're now going to witness what Hank Paulson is. He was at a conference, a Milken conference in California, where all the big shots get together. And they're supposed to talk about how to make the world better. Really? They start talking about income inequality. Listen to this disgusting human being talk about income inequality. Here we go.
Income inequality. This is something I think we've all thought about. You know, I was working on that topic when I was still at Goldman Sachs. And And
In which direction? Are you working on increasing it?
yeah, make it wider.
But I think
I would say
I think sure.
He was beside himself laughing. Oh, yeah, you're right. I was working on increasing income for myself. Listen to this again. So disgusting.
income inequality. This is something I think we've all thought about. You know, I was working on that topic when I was still at Goldman Sachs, and
In which direction? Are you working on increasing it?
yeah, make it wider.
But I think
Yeah, increasing. You know what? It makes me even more grumpy to think that Holder didn't put this guy in jail. He should have been in jail, this guy. Income inequality, big joke. It's unbelievable. They should be not talking about increasing rates, which is stupid. They should be talking about income inequality. Let's fix that. That's where the problem is. Because of the policies of this administration, there's tremendous income inequality. Tremendous income inequality. It's just sickening. Now, it was Paulson, remember, his failure to curb these risky subprime mortgages, the subprime lending, that made him a trillionaire. He was responsible for the housing turndown, wiping out $8 trillion of home owner equity, another $4 trillion in stocks, because of his failure to curb risky lending. At the same time, it also enabled Paulson and these other top Wall Street guys, these bankster gangsters, to cash in big bonuses, get big checks, while the Main Street, the less privileged American, lost their jobs, lost their homes, lost their retirement and savings. In the worst economic catastrophe since the Great Depression, which made Paulson a very wealthy man. His net worth is over $1.2 trillion, and he sits there and laughs about it. Oh, don't worry about it. There's a big story. I don't know if you saw the story over the weekend about how he lost $1 million. He sold his house in Washington, and he sold it for $1 million less than he paid for it. But don't cry for him. He's going to be just fine. This is unbelievable. You know, it's guys like Paulson, who once ran Goldman Sachs, who oversaw planners and money managers for Goldman Sachs, of course, all the other industries. They made sure there was never any application of fiduciary standards, meaning that they could do whatever they wanted to you. They steal from you right now, currently, these money managers, these advisors steal as much as $17 billion a year. They steal that from your 401k and you don't know it. That's this guy Paulson. Never did a thing about it. And every time that they wanted to put some application in of a fiduciary standard, he and his buddies on Wall Street would go to Congress and stop it dead. And they're going to stop it again this week. 12 times they've tried to put it in a fiduciary standard, so that once and for all, we could prohibit the practice of revenue sharing. What's that mean? These mutual fund companies who go to your company where you work, or go to your money advisor or your planner, and they sell them mutual funds. So you work for a company, you sit down with your guy at the company, he gives you a menu and says, here's a selection of mutual funds that you can put in your 401k. Now you think, wow, these are great. And then they put on the menu, and your planner does the same thing, the top 5 or the top 3. But the top 5 and the top 3 are the worst. The guy who is in charge of the 401k for your company where you work, he will say to the mutual fund company, how about doing some profit sharing? I'll take your worst mutual fund and I will put it on my company's top list. We'll make it the top 3. Give me your worst. But you're going to have to pay me. You're going to have to pay the company that I work for $200,000, and we'll make sure we take this garbage and we will put it as one of the top 3. That's called profit sharing. Profit sharing. You know there's no law against that? So you're there with your company and you start working for a company and they sit there with the menu and they think they're going to help you and they're going to look out for you. And they'll say, well, here, why don't you select this one? They're screwing you. Same thing with your planner. Same thing with your money, but your planner, same thing. You think, oh, well, why don't you pick it out for me? Oh, fine. Oh, fine. And they just picked up $100,000. Your planner just picked up $100,000 to push this certain 401k mutual fund. Isn't that awful? We got to change that. But it's guys like Hank Paulson and Jamie Dimon and the financial service industry has blocked any kind of standard, a set of fiduciary standards that will provide protection for the 401k who are being systematically screwed by their financial advisor and the company you work for, your planner. No standards. So you're going to be taken advantage of every day by the financial service industry, who skim on a daily basis over $250 million in commissions from your 401k, and you don't even know it. The Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. How you like that name? The Financial Industry Regulatory Authority. They're supposed to protect you. Think of that name. The Regulatory Authority. You know who they represent? Not you. They represent the advisors in the financial service industry. They get paid big to do that. We'll be right back after this break. 15 past the hour on Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Phil's Gang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Phil's Gang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. There is only one talk show host, Phil Grande, who delivers both social and financial talk. Not even Hannity or Rush can deliver a 1-2 punch like that. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Phil Grande is unique, the industry leader, the first talk show host ever to combine social issues and finance into winning stock market ideas. That's Phil Grande, philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, on May 29th, I warned that a stock market crash was coming. I also warned in July. Both times, I was watching my technology, my PT2 chart, and it turned from green to red. Both in May and July, we had substantial warnings. We saw the industrials fall. We saw that the market, the Chinese market was falling, was getting worse. Oil was falling. Copper was falling. Everything was falling. But again, CNBC was telling you, hey, things are cheap. Diversify. Everything's wonderful. But my chart was giving me something different. And on both those occasions, both in May and July, I told my gang, let's short the stock market now, because my PT2 chart indicated a sell-off was coming in. And we did. And we had a wonderful ride all the way down. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Some girls wish to grow up and be a princess. Other girls wish to simply grow up. May and Bailey are friends battling kidney cancer at St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. We developed a treatment for their cancer that's helping kids like them across America.
You know what I wish for?
What's that, honey?
My hair back. And no more cancer.
Well, girls, St. Jude is working on that.
Donate now at stjude.org or shop wherever you see the St. Jude logo.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com, Phil's Gang Radio Show. You know, we just went through a 1,900-point stock market drop, fastest drop ever in 2 days. Most of you panicked. At Phil's Gang, we didn't look at it as a crash. We looked at it as an opportunity because we were short. Why? Because I was able to teach my students how to read a chart, so in advance, they would know that the market was going to go down. It's all about learning. It's always amazed me, our whole life, someone teaches us to play baseball, someone teaches us to ski, someone teaches us how to drive a car. But there's nobody there to teach you how to invest in a stock. And that's where I come. I think I have the best teaching format in the country. Check it out. It's philsgang.com. So you'll be so comfortable. You don't care if the market's going down or the market's going up. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel on YouTube.com.
Make it wider.
Hank Paulson, yes, laughing at all of us in 401ks. Hank Paulson talking about income inequality. Now remember, income inequality is caused, the reason why we have so much income inequality is because, first of all, trade agreements, NAFTA, that's one of the worst ones, and also the 1993 tax law that Bill Clinton changed, that he made a great advantage for CEOs to take big compensation on their stock options. He changed the law so that the CEOs would have so much incentive to make sure they did stock buybacks, so they'd make a fortune. They'd make a fortune. And if you recall, before Bill Clinton in the 80s, that you had a lot of people, you remember the Wall Street movie, Wall Street, where he came in and he said, greed is good, I'm going to come and take over your company, because many CEOs were lazy. They didn't, they were terrible. If you looked at you always judge a CEO on the return on assets he get, or return on equity, it's terrible. And so they come in and take over the company. So what they did is they said, well, let's get our CEOs, give them some good compensation, give them incentive. So what we'll do is to create a law that they can get all these stock options with stock buybacks, and then the company can write them off. They can make a fortune, but blah, blah, blah. But what happened? These CEOs are now making 380 times what the guy on the floor is making of his company, and that's just been terrible.
CEO pay. It's now 350 times the average worker. Does that bug you at all as you think about your tax plan and the inequities in the economy?
Well, it does bug me. It's very hard if you have a free enterprise system to do anything about that. You know, the boards of companies are supposed to do it, but I know companies very well and the CEO puts in all his friends. And so you'll take a company like I could say Macy's or many other companies where they put in their friends as the head of the company, and they get whatever they want.
Yeah, well, that's true with compensation, but he's wrong from the point of view. Go change that tax law. Change that tax law, then we'll get rid of these stock buybacks that are screwing everybody. And by the way, everybody's talking about the Fed announcement, right, on Thursday. I'll talk about it too. But first, let's go to our stock corner. We'll take a look at the market.
Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel. Go to philsgang.com, click on the video channel graphic, and check out Phil's free videos on the market, economy, and current events.
Okay, I want to do something special for everybody. And I decided I wanted to give a free lesson to everybody. All you do is go to philsgang.com. You go to my homepage. And the first you see, it says, Phil's Gang, why join Phil's Gang? That's the first video. You scroll down, and there's the second video that says free charting lesson. First time I've ever done this on video. I'm doing a free charting lesson. And let me tell you why. I am so sick of hearing these people talk about Apple, Apple, Apple. It's all they talk about every day on CNBC is Apple, Apple, Apple. Here's another one, Apple, Apple, Apple. And it just drives me absolutely crazy.
I still think Apple has it. Stock up 30% in a year.
Now, how's he know it's going to go up 30% in a year? It dropped 30%, if you want to see. If you were with me and you were a gang member, and you would have identified that back in, I think it was back in July, back in July, the stock dropped. It turned from green. It was at $133, turned from green to red, and then dropped 33%. 33%. It's still red today. You don't buy the stock when it's red because institutions are taking their money out. Now, what I've done for you is go to my site, philsgang.com. It's a free lesson. When you get to the site, it's a teaching lesson. I teach. And that's what this site is about. My site's all about teaching. You know, I've always said I can't understand why people won't take a lesson in learning how to invest in a stock using the chart. I don't get it. You take a lesson to drive, you take a lesson to ski, you take a lesson to tennis, but you refuse to take a lesson when investing. Instead, you just listen to somebody like this guy come on and say, Apple's great.
I still think Apple has it. Stock up 30% in a year.
Oh, come on. He has no clue it's going to be up. So you get in today. And then all of a sudden the stock drops 10, 15%. You lose money. You go, boy, I don't trust Wall Street. No, it's not Wall Street. Don't trust these guys. Wall Street's a great place. It's like an airplane is a great thing. Isn't an airplane fun? Airplanes are great things to fly. But would you fly one without a lesson? Of course not. You're going to get killed. You're going to get killed. So when the plane or helicopter crashes and you never took a lesson, you're going to say, oh, flying's no good. Flying's terrible. Flying an airplane is terrible. A helicopter is terrible. No. You didn't take a lesson. You're going to go on a ski slope, never take a lesson, take the chairlift to the top of the mountain, go up a mile high and then ski down, and never took a lesson. What's going to happen? And then you're going to go, oh, man, I broke my leg. Skiing's no good. The stock market is the best place in the world if you know what you're doing. Take a look at Apple on my chart. Look at Apple. It's telling you not to buy it today. In fact, this has not been a buy since July. And even though it went from $92 back up to $116, it's not a buy. That's one thing you're going to learn when you take a lesson from me. We don't care about the price of the stock. Never buy a stock based on price. So here's what I want you to do. I want everybody tonight. It's the first, and I'll leave it up there for a little bit, where I'm giving you a lesson on charting. And I think I have the best school in the country when it comes to teaching people how to buy a stock using a chart. I really do. So check it out. Go to philsgang.com or sign up, become a gang member if you want. After you look at it, there's another video right above it. But go to my site, absolutely free. You don't have to become a gang member or nothing. Just check it out, and if it makes sense to you, try it for a month. And then you'll love what you're doing. You really will. It's more fun. We have more fun, okay, investing in stocks because we don't have the fear. We don't have the fear the market's going to crash. In fact, we're saying hope it crashes. And it may crash on the Fed announcement rate on Thursday. If they raise rates on Thursday, we could have a big sell-off because the market is not ready for a rate hike. They've been lying to us as to why they think the market is ready when it's not. I'll explain when I get back. Go to my site, philsgang.com. It's a free charting lesson. Don't miss it. It's free. Go there now, philsgang.com.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. What is Phil's Gang? Phil'sGang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Phil's Gang member today. Go to Phil'sGang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. What is Phil's Gang? Phil'sGang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Phil's Gang member today. Go to Phil'sGang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
From the perspective of the U.S. economy, I think we've seen continuing signs of strength.
Continuing signs of strength? What are you, nuts? Household spending dropped to its lowest level since 2008. Retail sales dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. Wages to its lowest level in 30 years. Disposable income to its lowest level in 40 years. Home ownership to its lowest level in 30 years. What's he talking about? That's Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. We can't trust anything that comes out of Washington or Wall Street. And that's why I want you to join Phil's Gang. My name is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Well, the reason you stay away from the stock market because you're fearful, because no one has taught you how to invest. You go to school to learn how to do math. You go to school to learn how to drive. Why don't you go to school to learn how to invest using charts? Join my gang, philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
From the perspective of the U.S. economy, I think we've seen continuing signs of strength.
Continuing signs of strength? What are you, nuts? Household spending dropped to its lowest level since 2008. Retail sales dropped to its lowest level in 9 years. Wages to its lowest level in 30 years. Disposable income to its lowest level in 40 years. Home ownership to its lowest level in 30 years. What's he talking about? That's Jack Lew, our Treasury Secretary. We can't trust anything that comes out of Washington or Wall Street. And that's why I want you to join Phil's Gang. My name is Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Well, the reason you stay away from the stock market because you're fearful, because no one has taught you how to invest. You go to school to learn how to do math. You go to school to learn how to drive. Why don't you go to school to learn how to invest using charts? Join my gang, philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Our economy has been moving.
Yeah, in the wrong direction. This is the same guy that told us we could keep our doctor and we could keep our health insurance. Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Look, I have the best teaching format in the country when it comes to learning how to invest in stocks. People will tell you that. Look, we can't listen to Wall Street. We can't listen to our government. We listen to our charts. That's why you join philsgang.com. Food stamps have exceeded 45 million for 50 straight months. And he's telling us things are good. What are you, nuts?
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Middle-class economics works.
Works? Where? Show me where it works. You tell us the unemployment rate is 5.1%, and you only get to 5.1% by making sure people don't have a job. Think of August. August, the unemployment rate went down to 5.1% because 200,000 people couldn't find a job. If they found a job, our unemployment rate would be at 10%. Isn't this amazing? Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Aren't you sick of this stuff? Aren't you sick of these politicians? They keep lying to us. You know, Wall Street does too. And how many times have you said, boy, I hate Wall Street. I hate the stock market. But that's the best place in the world to make money. But you need a lesson. You need a lesson on how to invest. That's where I come in. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. philsgang.com. It's the best teaching format in the country when you want to learn how to invest in stocks. philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at Phil's Gang. You know, everybody's been panicked about the crash. You've been told by CNBC there wasn't going to be a crash. The stocks were cheap. I've been telling you just the opposite. I've been telling you that going all the way back to June 2014. And then again, 2015, both May and July, and I said to start shorting. And if you were a gang member, you'd be pretty happy right now. Join my gang. Learn how to short.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Show. This segment is brought to you by Phil's Talking Trader Stock Charts.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. You know, we're talking about going to my site, because this is the first time I've ever done this. I'm doing a free charting lesson. You don't have to pay for it. It's free. Go check it out. Go to philsgang.com, and it's right there, right in the front page, a video, brand new. It's free. Check it out. And here's why. Because I'm so sick of these people talking about fundamentals, like Apple. Listen to this.
You brought Valero, Holly Frontier, Amazon, and Bank of America as your 4 picks.
Yeah.
What do those 4 have in common?
We're actually looking for stocks that have good earnings revisions. So we kind of want to buy fundamental stories with this correction that we've seen.
Buy them on a fundamental story? What are you, nuts? Just like this guy? This guy on Bulls and Bears bought GPRO on a fundamental story. Listen to this.
I've been wrong on GoPro, but I still own it. I still believe in it. I think it's up 30% in a year.
So now he's another one who said it was up 30% in a year. Then this other guy said Apple would be up 30%. Remember?
I still think Apple has it. A stock up 30% in a year.
Well, they got some 30% Kool-Aid or something. I don't know what I'm going to have for dinner tonight. I don't know. How could I say within a year it's going to be up 30%? You know it within a year. It's all BS, man. But here's what we do know. Go to my site, philsgang.com, and if you have a computer, if you're at home or at your office, or you have a mobile device, check this out. He says to buy GPRO, he's still in it. Do you know this stock dropped? GPRO, he's still in it. 49%, almost 50% drop. Now, if you were a gang member with GPRO, you would have bought GPRO at around $54. You would have got out around $65 when it turned to red. So you would have had about a 20% gain. Then you would have gain a 20% in GPRO. Cut it in half, 10%. Say you were late. But here's the more important issue. On August 11th, it turned from green to red. That means the institutions, that means Vanguard and BlackRock and T. Rowe Price, who own this stock, they're taking their money out. So why would you stay in? This guy stayed in. He said, I believe in it. No, I believe in making money. I believe in not losing money. I work too hard for my money. So he's going to stay in. Sure, he's going to cost average down. He lost almost 40%, and I don't know where he got in, but let's say from the top to where it is, 40%. You don't buy it. You still don't buy it. The last thing to do is buy it today. Take a look at it. Look at my chart, PT2. It's red. You don't buy it today. Now, if you wanted to buy something, you go and look at CLAC, K-L-A-C. We have a buy signal. Look at the difference. A buy signal. After CLAC dropped from about $60 down to $44. It dropped from $60 to about $44. That's about a 46% drop, 20% drop, 20% drop. And then it went from 44 up to 30, around $31. And it still was red. 44 to 31 to 51, 44 to 51. So that means it went up 29%, but we still didn't buy it. Why? Well, why would I? Because it's red. The institutions are pulling the money out. And today it turned green. So we're going to wait for one more day to confirm it, confirmation. And there you have it. So you would have made money on CLAC when it dropped. You make money on stocks when they drop. Go to my site, check out my free charting lesson, philsgang.com. Okay, let's talk about this announcement on Thursday, what's going on. First of all, they sent out, Aunt B sent out everybody. Sent out everybody to pump how the economy is really doing well, and that's why we should raise rates. First of all, the Fed is supposed to make sure that we have full employment and to make sure the prices of goods and services we buy are stable. Well, the problem is they're stable because we don't have full employment. So why would you raise rates? Our full employment is short by 3 million jobs. 3 million. So Yellen says, we need to cool off the economy. It's so hot. Hot? Where? There's no inflation. In fact, their target for inflation is 2% and real inflation is 1%. What are they talking about? Wasserman went out on the campaign trail for Hillary, reminding the crowds, under Obama's leadership, the economy has recovered both the job market and housing. What are you, nuts? Where? If that's the case, then why are we 3 million shy of full employment? And if housing was so good, why are we at an 18-year low in home ownership and rental prices are soaring, record highs? Everybody's renting because they can't buy. If the economy was so good. We've been told for decades, especially during the recession, that economic recoveries rely first on creation of good-paying full-time jobs, then house buying. Every recession we've had, you come out of that recession, good full-time jobs. Full-time. I'm not talking about part-time. She goes on and tells people, Wasserman does, she goes and tells the crowds, talking to Hillary's people, said Obama has produced a hot job market. That's what she said, a hot job market, producing nearly 5 times more jobs compared to Bush. Well, that's a low bar anyways. But Wasserman didn't mention the majority of those jobs he created stem from low-wage industries, the discounters like Walmart and Lowe's and the health industry. She never mentioned that. She also failed to mention the vast majority of these low-wage employers. I don't care that Obama created 5 times more terrible jobs than Bush. What do I care? These people that she's bragging that Obama 5 times more jobs than Bush. These jobs are so bad. At Walmart, in Lowe's, in the health food industry, they rely on food stamps. In fact, when you work at Walmart, in Lowe's, and these companies, they have programs to show you when you come to work for us, hey, here's how you take advantage of food stamps and housing assistance. So she's bragging about how he produced 5 times more jobs. These are low-wage jobs. Walmart, Lowe's, healthcare, and the people that go work at these places, these people have to get food stamps. Wow. It's all BS. The real unemployment rate, when you look back, these discouraged workers, the real unemployment rate is 10%. It's not 5.1%. So come on, it's all BS. This whole thing is BS. And you're going to raise rates? Where these jobs are crappy part-time jobs, you're going to raise rates because you said the economy's so hot? No, the economy's not hot. We're short 3 million people for full employment, and the jobs we have, people are making so little money, they have nothing left to go to the malls and buy stuff. And why do you think companies are buying their own shares back? Because they don't have any top-line sales, so they have to tweak the profits because they don't have top-line sales. They have to cheat, and we're going to raise rates because things are so good. You mean they're good at cheating? We were told for decades, for any recovery to happen, it first takes a job creation, meaningful jobs, especially full-time jobs. Then comes home ownership, which is synonymous not only with the good life, but with productive and prosperous economy. Home ownership has always been an American dream. Now it's an American nightmare. It's a barometer. Housing's not happening. Housing's a barometer. of what the economy is doing. Housing sales and starts are viewed as the most important barometer of economic health. And it's now telling us, because of the lack of good, meaningful jobs, not only are we not in a job or housing recovery, but we have yet to finish the 1,900-point drop that started on Friday, August 21st. We haven't finished it. And when I get back, I'm going to tell you the reason why we don't have good jobs, the reason we don't have home ownership. But here's the real reason. Why don't you go to my site right now and get the free charting class? It's right there for you. Don't have to be a gang member. It's free.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. At philsgang.com, we promote core technicals and chart analysis that enables each Philsgang member to be the best investor they can be. At philsgang.com, stock investing is defined in detail by the Philsgang standards. Working together, we achieve our goals and ultimately provide a truly unique profit-taking experience for our members. This is what philsgang.com does, and no one does it better than the off-the-Wall Street maverick, Phil Grande. For over 15 years, Phil coaches and teaches that stock investing diversity goes beyond fundamentals and stories. We believe that amazing things happen when people invest in themselves by following Phil's format and recommendations. At philsgang.com, we believe in the desire to embrace, build, and deliver on our core values and promises. And for over 15 years, Phil Grande has delivered on that promise. For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. Remember, on May 29th and July 28th, I said to short the market. The market was going to experience a correction. How did I know? My PT2. Check it out. This is not a crash for us. We're experiencing a correction because we are now making money on our stocks because we're shorting it. Using our PT2 identified for us when they were pulling their money out, both in May and July, and we were right there to pull our money out too. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of Phil's Gang. You know, on May 29th, I warned that a stock market crash was coming. I also warned in July. Both times, I was watching my technology, my PT2 chart, and it turned from green to red. Both in May and July, we had substantial warnings. We saw the industrials fall. We saw that the market, the Chinese market, was falling, was getting worse. Oil was falling. Copper was falling. Everything was falling. But again, CNBC was telling you, hey, things are cheap. Diversify. Everything's wonderful. But my chart was giving me something different. And on both those occasions, both in May and July, I told my gang, let's short the stock market now, because my PT2 chart indicated a sell-off was coming in. And we did. And we had a wonderful ride all the way down. Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, this last 1,900-point drop in the stock market scared everybody. They called it a crash. But here at Phil's Gang, we call it an opportunity. Why? Because I taught my students how to read a chart. And here's the problem in this industry. You go somewhere to learn how to drive a car, but you never go anywhere to learn how to invest in a stock. Well, you'll do that here at Phil's Gang. Join my gang. philsgang.com, the best teaching format in the country when it comes to stocks.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com, Phil's Gang Radio Show. You know, we just went through a 1,900-point stock market drop, fastest drop ever in 2 days. Most of you panicked. At Phil's Gang, we didn't look at it as a crash. We looked at it as an opportunity because we were short. Why? Because I was able to teach my students how to read a chart, so in advance, they would know that the market was going to go down. It's all about learning. It's always amazed me, our whole life. Someone teaches us to play baseball. Someone teaches us to ski. Someone teaches us how to drive a car. But there's nobody there to teach you how to invest in a stock. And that's where I come. I think I have the best teaching format in the country. Check it out. It's philsgang.com. So you'll be so comfortable. You don't care if the market's going down or the market's going up. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. 877-600-4264. Welcome back to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-GANG, 877-600-4264.
He's doubling the standard deduction. He's reducing tax rates. He's going to have 3 tax rates instead of the 7 or whatever they are now. He had a whole plan that
doesn't sound progressive.
That will, in fact, well, that's actually what Ronald Reagan did when I was in the White House in 1985.
He wasn't progressive either.
Well, I'm sorry. I disagree. We had a great economy then. We actually had people, much greater job growth then. We had much lower.
What?
We had terrific job growth.
Actually,
the people in the South Bronx.
Actually, we just had the 66th month in a row of the economy expanding.
Give me a break. The economy expanding 6 years. The economy has not expanded. When he entered office, the GDP was at 2%. We're still at 2%. Almost 7 years later, at 2%, and $14 trillion in stimulus money, still 2%. Bill Maher doesn't know what he's talking about. Let's talk about jobs. Reagan, when he entered office, remember, we had huge inflation. It was out of control. But let's go back to job creation record. His outstanding record. He has an outstanding record. Nearly 20 million more Americans were employed when he left office than when the recession ended. Overall, including the recession on his watch, Reagan's net job growth over 8 years was 16.1 million. In fact, we even had months of 1 million jobs. Obama's never hit more than 300,000 jobs in 1 month. What's he talking about? In fact, if you think about it, Obama, since the mid-2009, the end of the recession, with a net gain of about 5 million jobs. He's had a net gain of about 5 million jobs. That's it. Are you kidding? So how can he say that? It's just the numbers. It's a true number. It's a true number. So you're talking 5 million. Call it 8 million if you want. Cheat. It doesn't compare to the 16 million. It's amazing. These guys just shoot their mouth up. You know, it's amazing how what's destroying this country is people are either Republican or people are a Democrat. Why don't people just be people? If somebody sucks in office, tell them. They suck. Get them out. Now, here's the real reasons why there's not going to be a rate hike. And if there is, it's going to be damaging. There's 3 culprits that are killing this home ownership and the jobs. First of all, let's talk about the wages. Good full-time work and overtime has always been the driver of home ownership. Always been the driver of home ownership. You have to have good jobs, good wages to buy a home. That's always drove a healthy, growing economy. It's always tied. House sales are always tied to good wages, good full-time jobs, meaningful jobs, home ownership. It's not happening today, especially for the most important segment, the first-time home buyer. All due to why? Obama's stagnant wages. Wages have hit a 30-year low. No overtime. Home ownership is a nightmare due to his expanding and working and focusing on not jobs, but a welfare society. 37% of all homes that are mortgaged, 37% of all mortgage homes in the U.S. are still upside down with negative equity. And we're going to raise rates? Are we going to raise rates? You take the affordable home range between $100,000 and $300,000. That's the affordable home. Over 10 million of these homes in this affordable price range of 100 to 300 are stuck in place because they're still upside down. People can't sell their homes because they got to go to a closing with a check and they can't afford to do that. As a result, we have reduced inventory, causing prices to escalate, putting prices out of reach. And let's talk about the consequences of zero interest money. Hedge funds like Berkshire, Warren Buffett, Evergreen, Blackstone, they bought hundreds of thousands of foreclosed homes at 10 cents on the dollar from the banks to rent. What happened? There's not much inventory because they bought all the houses. There's none left. So the houses that are left, prices has soared. Again, in its affordable range of 100 to 300. So this has put home ownership out of reach for many of the middle class. What are they, nuts? The real truth is there is no recovery but a mismatch between wages that people earn and the price of decent housing. And they also know, under Obama's policies, we have inconsistent job growth. Never a million. We never had 1 month of a million. We have inconsistent job growth and the rise, and we have the cost of living going up. Go to the supermarket. Look, they're not going to raise rates. If they do, they're out of their mind. They're out of their mind. We're not ready. We're not ready. So what about the market, though? The market is a wonderful place. Because if he raises rates, guess what? The market's going to go down, and we'll be in position. Our chart will go from green to red, and we short. That's why I want everybody tonight to please go to philsgang.com, where I have a free, for the first time, I've never done this before, I give you a free charting class. Go there. It's free. Don't have to be a gang member. And by the way, this sideline money, I heard them talk about sideline money again this weekend. All these corporations are looking wonderful. They're very strong. They got all this money in the sideline. Really? Let me get you to understand this sideline crap. Say a company borrowed $25 billion in debt and the stock is $125. That's not enough to justify the $25 billion debt. So the share price needs to go up to $200 a share. So the CEOs can't do it by top line sales because people don't have any money because they have all part-time crappy jobs. So they're not selling the top line. So every year their profits are the same. Say $1 million and $1 million and $1 million for 3 years. So the CEO does an accounting trick. He'll buy the stock back for the company to reduce the amount of outstanding shares. Then by spreading the earnings over fewer shares, the earnings per share would artificially increase and the stock price would artificially go to 200 to justify the 50 or the 25 billion in debt. But here's the problem why they won't raise rates. The CEO, if they raise rates on this phony stock price that went from 1.25 to 200 through stock buybacks, and they raise the rates, the stock will tumble. Because the stock knows that a rate hike of just a 25% basis point. Why do you think for 6, almost 7 years they haven't raised prices? Why do you think they haven't raised 0.25% in 7 years? Don't you think they would have raised the rates 0.25% somewhere along 7 years? Don't you think so? They've been bragging every day how we have all these jobs, 5 times more jobs than Bush created. Well, if they're that good, then why the hell didn't you raise rates in the last 7 years? And here's the answer. Because they know they've been fudging the numbers. This sideline money, they have the sideline money there. They're not investing it. They're not spending it. They're holding it because they're scared to death if they raise rates. They better have a whole bunch of cash to backstop their stock from dropping. Consumer borrowing has gone up by $20 billion just in July alone. All auto and student loans made up $15 billion. What are you, nuts? We are not ready for a hike. But you know what? At least the gang, we know one thing. Whether a stock goes up or whether a stock goes down, we don't care. Because see, we don't care. We just don't care about fundamentals of a company. I do not care about this company, GPRO, that was on Bulls and Bears over the weekend, or Apple. I don't care. I don't care about its price to sales, price to book, profit margins, operating margins. I could care about the return on assets, return on equity, the judge, the CEO. I could care less. The CEO could care less. If we dug up JP Morgan, he could care less. It's a whole new game in the last 6 years. Just follow the company money flow. If the institutions are buying the stock, you buy it. If the institutions are putting money out, then you don't buy it or you sell it short. And don't be scared. Look, didn't we tell you the last week of July and even before that to go short the S&P? We did. And the last week in July, I said to you, look at this. It turned from green to red the last week of July. We never saw so much money coming out of stocks in our life from institution, and it dropped 1,900 points in 2 days. It's not finished. Look, you're going to be okay with me. As a gang member, you're going to be okay. It's not going to matter if it's up or down. Get my free charting lesson tonight. Go to philsgang.com. Take a look at it. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.